Hello, Daz Studio enthusiasts. This is Not From This World, and I want to welcome you back to my tutorial page. Now, today I wanted to talk about a question I had from a previous video, and the video was where I was discussing how to use Golden Palace, the gens for our Genesis characters. And in this video, I showed you a little trick on how to correct an issue when we add Geoshells. So when we add a Geoshell to our character, like this dirt prop, we get a problem where our Golden Palace gens are not dirty. And so I showed you in this video how we could fix this using Milica, a Genesis 8 character. And I got a question just the other day about Genesis 9 characters. And so I want to say thank you to Lufer284 because he asks, what if there's no, quote, torso selection in the Surface tab when we are trying to fix this Geoshell? Now, the reason for this, if you come across it, is because you are using a Genesis 9 character. So I have a Genesis 9 character open for us tonight, and honestly, I don't know her name. She's not Milica, even though she looks a lot like Milica. She's actually not Milica, but Milica's a Genesis 8 character. I can't use her for this demo, but we'll just call her Sienna. I don't know her name, but Sienna, I like that name, so we'll go with Sienna. And we're going to add a dirt layer to her, and then we're going to fix her gens just like we did with Genesis 8, with perhaps a couple twists. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop down to my Genesis 9 folder, and I'm going to go to my anatomy folder, and I'm going to scroll down to where I have a dirt layer. So let's see. It's called Skin Effects Dirt 2. And I'm just going to select Sienna here. And I'm going to just select the first layer. We're just going to make her nice and dirty. Maybe she got home from the beach and she's now home and needs to shower. But you can notice as soon as I add this layer, she has her Golden Palace messed up. Now, with Genesis 8, I told you to go through a process where we're going to, I guess, mesh the two Geoshells together so that they don't conflict with each other. And I tried to do that initially here with Sienna. And what we normally would do with a Genesis 8 character, just to show you, is I would find Sienna's Golden Palace, which is right here, and you'll notice that there is a shell fix. And with Genesis 8, what we would normally do is we would find the shells, and Golden Palace for Genesis 9 is a little bit different than the Genesis 8 Golden Palace. And if you look here, the Golden Palace for Genesis 9 has two shells. So it says it has a Minora shell and a Majora shell. So I guess the way that Golden Palace is created for Genesis 9, we just have multi-shells. Normally what I would say is just to select each shell. So you'd select it first, then hold down Control, go to your dirt layer, select that, and then just hit the shell fix. Now when we do that, nothing happens with Genesis 9. There's a shell fix Omni as well. Not sure what the difference is, but if I click on these, nothing is happening. And so, first of all, that was messing me up when I was trying to problem solve this question. And so I was trying to select those dirt layers and the Golden Palace layers and use this shell fix. That wasn't working. So all I ended up doing was selecting the dirt layer initially, and then just going through the process of using the Daz Iray layers. So what we're going to do is, with the dirt layer selected, I'm going to come down here and select the Surface tab. And under Surfaces, we'll find the G9 Full Dirt Shell. And you'll see those Golden Palace Geoshells. Just like with Genesis 8, select them all. And then come up to your Daz Studio formats. Select that. Find your Daz 3D library. Select that. Scroll down to Shader Presets. Select that. Go to Iray Uber, and then double click. Now that is the same process that we did with Genesis 8. Now, here is the difference. In Genesis 8, we scroll down and there is a tab that says Torso. Genesis 9 does not have that. So what we have to do instead of going to Torso is we're going to select Body. And the body, we're going to right click, hit Copy, and then take our Golden Palace, select all of them, and then right click and hit Paste, and then boom, it's fixed. So now we've got those Golden Palace gens dirty with the rest of her body. I guess with my lighting, I can't zoom in very well. So that is how you fix this issue with the Genesis 9 character. And it's just a little bit different. And if you end up having the issue with the shells where you still see kind of a white border or something with that, I did notice that after you do your Uber base and Golden Palace correction, you can now go in, for some reason, you can go into the shell fix under the original Golden Palace and select your shell Minora, hit the control button and select the dirt layer, and then hit shell fix. And if you do have an issue with that, which I have noticed I get from time to time, it'll fix it. Once you do the Minora, hit Majora, do the same thing, hit shell fix, and that should fix any issues. All right, so I hope this helps you. And, I hope this actually gets you using Genesis 9 a little bit more. The more I use Genesis 9, the more I really do like those characters. They're a little bit different, but they really do produce nice renders. I was always very apprehensive about using Genesis 9 when they first came out, but now I'm really starting to like them. So I hope you are exploring and using Genesis 9 as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. I try and post a couple times a week. Sometimes my schedule doesn't allow that, but usually I'll get you at least once per week. So until next time, have a wonderful weekend and happy rendering.